Raise your horns high and let your spirit flow. It's the classic metal wrap-up show. Feel the rush, let the loudness grow. It's the classic metal wrap-up show.
He's gone, and he's got a big old Chevy or a Ram.
Yes, or a Silverado or something that can with some four-wheel drive or something capable. A guy like him needs a Suburban. That's what you need. He has Suburban. That's what he needs.
So I'm trying to wedge this in because I know I don't want to keep everybody forever. I mean, we've been chit-chatting with Alan for about an hour or whatever, but we do need to talk about 2025, which, I think any highlights, as far as bands, albums, concerts, stuff you're looking forward to in 2026, but we can wedge in Dokken because in 2026, I think there's that threat of an EP with Lynch and Don. What's your take on that one, Alan? Has that ship not sailed already?
Dude, his voice was best on Breaking the Chains. Don't compromise my memories.
Agreed.
I mean,
Agreed.
All right, this is a moment, okay? Don calls me up and he says, listen, can you come over, pick me up and take me down to the DMV? This is after we've been living together. And I said, sure. What time you need me to be there? So I go up to his house and he says, take me down in the vet because I'm going to pick up my license that had been taken away from me. And I'd like to drive home in my vet. And I'm going, sure, I'll drive the vet. And he hops into the passenger seat and he says, I think I might have written my first big hit. I think it might even be a number one. And then he sits there and sings In My Dreams a cappella to me as I'm driving down Venice to go to the DMV. And at the end of it, I just turn around to him and I go, that's fucking brilliant. That is so good and so you. Did it become a number one? No, but it was in films and it did really well. And it's a song of that moment, a song of that time, a really strong one. Right. So that was a moment.
Mm-hmm.
All the predictable things that fill up the shelves of your memories. It's the unexpected moments like that that you look back on. Like turning up to Total Access early one morning because we're working on Izzy's first solo record, Juju House. And I could hear someone in the studio playing piano. And of course my brain is going to blank because it's old and got fucking holes all through it. Nicky Hopkins. I go into the studio and there's Nicky Hopkins playing piano, warming up, and there's nobody else in the studio at this point. And we introduce ourselves to each other and we chat a little bit. And I've sometimes been accused of having a bit of a nerve. So I turn around to Nicky and I go, Nicky, will you play something for me? He goes, what do you want to hear? And I said, play me Baby's House, which he played on a Steve Miller and wrote with Steve Miller on, I think it was the album after Sailor, Saving Grace. And I was standing there and there's Nicky Hopkins, who's done all that work with the Rolling Stones, with Quicksilver, I mean, just endless stuff that he's done. And he's playing Baby's House for me, and it's just fucking a sublime moment. It's little moments like that that you put a little bit of extra polish on when you put it back on your mental shell. So Don a cappella in the car, Nicky Hopkins when no one else is around. Those are the little gifts that you get for doing what you do. What do you want, baby? She's right.
So is there any? Is there anyone that would be looking forward, Kendall, or would you be looking forward to the Dawkins Lynch EP in 2026?
Do I need something with Don and George?
George?
No.
No.
I would given the state of everything, I would much prefer like another solo album from Don, that of like solitary, just like acoustic based. And I think that's really all I would need as a Dawkins fan.
Yeah,
I agree.
I'm with you, Kendall.
Mhm.
George has never impressed me.
I think Don can make it work with any of the guitarists he's had over the years. To me, Dawkins always been Don, so and then given his state and vocally and everything, just an acoustic solo album, maybe not even one, just keep him going. I'm sure he's got a lot more to write.
Well, I think you might be right, Kendall, because my understanding of Don is that he'll never put it all aside. And that if it means that he's going to go into the bathroom with a tape recorder and just sing the melody and then bring in somebody to play guitar and work through the construction of the arrangement, he can do that.
Right. Well, I don't know if you guys want to open it up to highlights of 2025 as far as any new bands you discovered, any albums, any shows, anything like that, or anything you're looking forward to 2026. So I don't know who wants to start. Maybe Alan has a few surprises for us too. Maybe something that's not in our wheelhouse, so to speak. I don't know. Joe, what do you got?
Yeah, I guess I'll spitball this right now. Best album of the year, Parabellum by Testament. I think it's the best thing they've done in my lifetime. Not including The Gathering because I was 6 months old when that came out. So
Yeah.
aside from that, this new Testament album is brutal, and I've been playing it nonstop in the gym. So shout out to them for coming back very strong. My show of the year, Back to the
Hmm.
Beginning, obviously, R.I.P. Ozzy. It was my
Hmm.
first voyage overseas, and just very emotional, still is, because Black Sabbath obviously was that band for me,
Right.
and I think a lot of us. So to be able to see them proper do it one last time on their home turf was incredible. And as far as a new band to look forward to in 2026 goes, I have to shout out a band from Lafayette by the name of Void. They are a
Which
thrash band,
Lafayette?
Lafayette, Louisiana, I believe.
All right, good.
Yeah, they're a thrash band, but they're melodic. They're very much on the order of like Annihilator, Metallica, circa like 88, and they're all young. They're like 18, 19, 20 years old, and
Uh-oh.
these kids can play their rear ends off. They put on a very theatrical show. They just put out a new record, and they're going to be touring all over the country next year. So I'm really excited to see what they do. So I guess Void, I would say, is my band to look for in 26. I think they could be next up.
Nice. And Testament, the that tour kicks off in Portland, so and it's on a Saturday night, so
Oh,
guess where I'll be.
perfect.
So that'll be great. Nice. So that's a nice list. Testament again, yeah. I mean, you can't go wrong with Testament.
No.
Jeez. Uh, Anybody else? Who's next?
Kendall, Andrew, someone?
I was pretty shocked by the recent Metal Church lineup. I don't know how I feel about it yet. Well, I know how I feel about the personalities, but as far as the music goes,
Right.
I don't know about the music yet. I did listen to the one song.
Yeah.
But if they come around in 2026, I will go to see them, given they're in a decent radius of my area.
Right. Yeah.
Also, I was the recent Black Swan that came out. Obviously, he's been doing it for years now, but Robin McCauley, his vocals are like crazy good for like given his age. Like I was
Right.
just like kind of you know digging that, and I haven't bought an album in a little bit, but if I did buy one recently, it'll probably be the Black Swan.
Nice.
Kendall, how long since you've gone to a music store and bought a record?
Uh, let's see.
I know.
Well, we have an FYE around here, but music stores aren't really they've been closing around my area, but maybe like 2 years ago I bought KXM CD, but typically I buy things online. Like a CD from Amazon, like pre-orders and everything. But I have been to the music store within the last like 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm strictly digital myself,
So
despite what you see back there.
I actually buy shit.
I'm really surprised. I would have
Yeah.
thought that you had a good turntable, and I would have thought you'd have had a pile of vinyl.
I did years ago, but somewhere in the CD age, I transferred to CD, and then now I'm such a quick consumer of music, and then it either goes into my playlist on my phone that I'm going to go because I'm driving and I'm working 12 hours and driving around. That's where I consume all my stuff, and so
Right.
hauling a record or a CD even just seems not logical when I'm going to listen to up to 12 hours of music sometimes out on a night. But yeah, the quality's better. And what I'm actually doing, Alan, is for my 12-year-old son, who's got his first drum set this Christmas and is now banging away on a drum set, is I got him a record player and I got him a couple of records he wanted Metallica Ride the Lightning, and he's a Nirvana fan. A lot of kids at that age, I think, are, and he's learning the Dave Grohl drum parts. So yeah. But yeah, I'll go next. So musically, for me, I kind of put it in two categories. In the metal category, I'm with Joe. The Testament is just ridiculously good. The entire album is just brutal, and they all sound fantastic. And Chuck's one of those singers that I don't know why, but even at his age, it doesn't show in any way, shape, or form that how old he is or how he sings. It's just amazing. The New Metal Church probably be my second. The new song there, I'm very curious of how the rest of it will sound and what they can do, but I like what I hear. And then third in the metal category for me, despite what my brother Wendell might say or Chris Aiken might say, is I'm going to go with Megadeth's new stuff. I still like some of what Dave's doing. It's pretty ripping, man. There's just some, if you like guitar shredding, him and the Timu kid or whatever his name is are just ridiculously shredding on that album. So lyrically, I could kind of see I'm not so, but Dave's always vocally and lyrically. That's the weakest part of Megadeth, in my opinion. But the musically, they're just badass. So those are my three metal ones. As far as just general rock, I really keep going back to the new Black and Blue stuff I heard, particularly the Lifeline and that the 2-song Bruiser. I still play that quite a bit. I like I like what Nate did with Firehouse. I want a full Firehouse album with Nate Peck singing, and I really don't know if there's a third there in the rock category for something I'm actually still cranking a lot. But oh, I should just say I think we discussed this in between me and Ruben and Andrew. F the haters. Peter Criss album rocks, and the band he's got on that album rocks. And if he's playing any drums on that album, Billy Sheehan and John Five are smoking on a couple of those tracks for what compared to what a Peter Criss solo albums previously have been, which made me feel like I was in a lounge watching jazz bands or something. So, yeah, there you go.
That one was definitely a surprise. I did enjoy that one.
No.
Go ahead, Andrew. What you got?
Go ahead. Yeah.
Well, I haven't really been listening, except for the Peter Criss one last week that you guys told me to check out. I haven't really, I don't know, nothing. It's hard to impress me with anything anymore. I don't have, I wish I had more to say. I just don't.
Well, at least throw what you threw to me, which is you were hoping for the Ghost to be good, but the Ghost didn't work out.
So I was hopeful that the Ghost album was going to be good, but the thing about that is, it's one of those things where you get an adrenaline rush when you're listening through the first time. It's not anything that really holds up when you re-listen to it, though. They have like one song on there that's pretty damn good, and then they got two that are okay, and the rest is all filler. And that's disappointing. That's all I have to say to that. As far as live shows go, I really just don't have patience for it anymore. And I know that's sad, and a lot of that comes down to what Alan and I were just talking about. I don't want my memories corrupt or destroyed. It's sad, but I'm not going to sit here like a lot of people do and lie and act like, oh, well, no, everything's just go see them while you can. Well, the time to see them is already past.
Yes. Yes, Andrew, totally agree. And, you know, since I'm a grumpy old malcontent, when I hear, for example, that there's going to be a new Guns N' Roses record, part of me goes, really? Already? 1991 is not that far away, is it? You know, it's like, good Lord, guys. The one thing that crosses my mind is how much of the vocals are going to be the singer and how much are they going to be treated by AI? We're getting to a point now where my skepticism is going to be at the fore of listening to something for the first time, because I'm going to be very suspicious, especially if it's coming from an older established band. Another beautiful cat. We've got 3
Yes.
cats today.
My young
Awesome.
one. He's attacking me in the cords to the microphone. Yes.
Well, of course, they want to be the center of attention.
Yeah, every time.
No, my immediate skepticism is how treated are the vocals going to be? And what do you have to say that's going to be stimulating or connected? What sort of lyric content to be? What are you going to have to say now? You know? And of course, I am fucking completely spoiled because my formative years of listening to music, they actually started in the 50s, singing country and western songs with my mom in the car. And we didn't even have a car radio. But from 1964 to 1974, in hindsight, looking in the rearview mirror, was an absolutely stunning period of popular music expression. I remember back in the day when new things came out, it wasn't just a slight development or something of the same genre. You walk into a store on Oxford Street and you hear this music and you go, what the fuck is that? And what you're hearing for the first time is Santana's first record. And then, you know, one day you're at a party and you're listening, you're trying to talk to some girl you're trying to impress, but there's this record on the player that keeps pulling your head away, your consciousness away. And it's King Crimson's first record. And you go, what the hell is that? So I was fucking spoiled. I mean, you know, by the time it got around to being functional in the music business myself, I had a load of imposter syndrome. What could I do? What could I offer that compares to the demigods that I listened to in my teens? You know, so for me to have an expectation now, no. I don't have an expectation of finding anything magical. But, you know, I'm going to ask Kendall a question. Kendall?
Yes.
Tell me how many songs exist.
You mean that were released, like, or just that exist that someone wrote but never released? Is this thing like
Both.
just songs that have been written?
Oh,
Songs that have been written. I'm gonna say
I've got a shelf full of those.
1.3 billion.
You want me to give you the answer?
Yes.
Can you see that?
Six.
6. 6. I love you. I hate you. I feel good. I feel like shit. The world is wonderful. The world is totally fucked up. And I was doing this with somebody one night, and my wife looked at me and he said, "You're an idiot. You've missed out. You've missed out the 7th." And I thought for a moment, and she said, "The question." And I mean, you know, for example, Pink Floyd were brilliant at writing question songs, but that's basically it. And when you have imposter syndrome, when you're starting to get into writing and recording, is you go, it's all been said. But what you realize is that we keep falling in love with the same topics because we fall in love with the performer, their idiosyncrasy, their style, their peculiarity, the way they say it. And that's what we fall in love with. So it's entirely possible that one day, extraordinarily, someone may come up with a way of putting songs together and you go, "Oh, they're kind of like a Tom Petty, but better." Or, "Damn, who else would we name?" And just go, there's a defined personality that was magical. It's still possible to have. What I don't understand is how Taylor Swift becomes such a financial force so quickly. It tends to take me down conspiratorial rabbit holes where I was told that there was a meeting once with UMG where this guy came in from Washington, D.C. and told the people at the record company that they should concentrate on things like rap and hip hop with negative lyrics because that's what we want permeating the consciousness of that age group and that group of people so as we can fill our jails up. There's a thought, isn't it? Oh my God. But I think there's always a possibility that someone can come along and reignite that magic. There was a once together, and one of the lines in the song is, "The spirit does not age." So if something comes along and inflames your spirit, it keeps it young. It keeps you young. It could happen. Has it happened with me anticipating 2026? No. I ain't heard nothing that's going to make me run out and go, "Hey, honey, can you get this for me on Amazon?"
Nice.
What do you got, Ruben?
Well, mine's pretty simple. I'll do a Joe. I'll just break it down real quick. I think on the heavier end of things, I'd definitely go with Parabellum as well with Testament. I mean, again, that's I don't think they have another 10 solid 10 in them, but this is pretty close. I mean, 8.5, 9. That's pretty good, I think, for a band that this point in their career. The other one I'd go with Frail, Heretics, and Lullabies. It's kind of a doomy, atmospheric type of band. It's more artsy, kind of a throwback to the 70s, I think. So that's a pretty good record and good band. I mean, I just discovered them this spring, and they've been around for, I don't know, 5, 6 years or something like that, out of Ohio. And then to mix it up a little bit, I go with Whiskey Myers, Womp Whack Thunder, and they started off more of a country band. I think they've evolved into more like a modern day Skinnerd, and that is a fucking great record. I mean, the last one I wasn't such a big fan of. They went too into the weirdness of the, what would we call them? I'd almost say like the 70s rock that wasn't very, very very good. I mean, it was almost entering like country yacht rock, which I was not a fan of. But this new record came back, evolved more into what Skinnerd would be doing, I think, in the modern era. If you check out this tune, Icarus, I mean, that's got to be one of the best songs written ever. And that's on this record. That's a band that I want to check out live. I didn't see them last time because I didn't want to go see shit off that record live, and it would kind of probably ruin it for me. Um, I'd say things I'm looking forward to. One Metal Church. I think Evil and I had mixed it up and talked about. We knew that the singer was going to be Brian Allen, who actually is an Oregonian, and he actually works for the school district in one of the nearby counties in Portland. So I know the guy from his time, with all the various projects that he's been a part of, along with Vicious Rumors was the last. I think the Anthrax record again is going to probably be solid. I think they're kind of on and in tune with like what Testament's doing. They put out solid stuff that takes a while to get that rolled out, but when it comes out, it's pretty solid. So I look forward to that. I think then Death Angel I want to listen to. I want to hear that record. That may be a mixed bag because of the kind of rift that is happening between Mark and the rest of the guys. Him working with Kerry King's solo band. Megadeth tour. I say tour because I want to see the tour. Because hopefully it does have Anthrax and Exodus when they do roll into Portland. Not super high hopes for the record. Again, kind of like what has been mentioned. I think everybody that has been doing it for a bit has probably had their better days behind them. Mustaine vocally for sure. I think that's one of those things. He always surrounds himself with solid musicians, but that's where he struggles is vocally, especially live. So there you go.
Yeah, if I'm to add really quick about Whiskey Myers, I did see them on that tour last year. First off, packed theater.
Yeah,
Second off, the vibe you said, like Skinnerd reincarnated.
yeah,
Like just the energy and the crowd was just going nuts.
right.
And it was a real it was a weird mix because it was like
Hmm.
half like we're definite country people,
Yeah,
but half were like definitely hard rockers and rock and roll people. So it was a really kind of wild crowd. And I'll give him credit because I know the vibe you're talking about with the last record. I still got to
right.
check out this one. But it was so 70s in the sense that even kind of the mellow songs or,
Yeah.
the weird songs were like so much more rockin' live
Yeah.
and so
I
much more
probably was.
energetic.
I mean,
Yeah.
it had that kind of Burrito Brothers bullshit, and then with
Yeah.
the ZZ Top outfits from the '70s, so that worldwide Texas
Sure.
tour.
Sure.
Yeah, again, I was gonna go, but then I was like, man, I don't want to go. And then if that ruined it for me, then I'd be like, next time they come around and they put out a solid record, I'm not gonna want to go see the tour. But yeah, no, I hear you.
Yeah, it was a good time.
See, when you mentioned Skinner, you kind of had me. As soon as you threw in the Flying Burrito Brothers,
No, no, no,
I
no.
don't
That was the
know.
last record. That was the last
Okay,
record.
okay.
Yeah, no, the new record is solid. I mean, that's
Oh,
yeah, top to bottom.
Yeah. And that's, yeah, I've listened to all of that stuff, but not as far as that band, but I'm saying the Burrito Brothers and all that 60s stuff because I'm from the Bay Area. So,
Right.
yeah.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I think one thing that we need to throw out there, and I'm sure Joe's familiar with this because he knows the band Dark Angel, and you know how they work that new record where it was you can only order it, pre-order it, get it online, get it shipped to you. It wasn't available for streaming or download. I think they gave you a download if you pre-ordered it though. But Peter Criss did something similar where he sold the physical thing, the vinyl and the CD, and that kind of I guess stirred up a little bit of controversy in the sense that there were some fans that were disgruntled because they couldn't stream it. I think where it backfired with Dark Angel, one, it wasn't a good record. I mean, it just
Not at
wasn't.
all.
I pre-ordered it in probably July. It was due, I think, the week after Labor Day. It got pushed back. I saw the band in early October. They didn't have it for sale at the merch table. And then it finally arrives a month after that, and then it's just like, this this wasn't very good. So that's a huge disappointment. I think where Pete got it right was that he did put out probably the best record of his career as a solo artist, right? But that how much is that saying considering, you could probably he's not a high achiever, right? I mean, the expectations are relatively low for a Peter Criss record where you have one or two decent songs and then the rest are all throwaways. So when he puts out something like this, is it really that good? I guess I still have to listen to it a little bit more, but I do like the record. I think it is probably the best thing he's done. What do you guys think?
I'd agree.
Yeah, because all the other ones were, I mean, the first 78, but even that only has like two songs maybe I could
Yeah.
really ever go to or something and say, I know that song. All the ones in the 80s, they're just garbage. That one with the American flags or world flats, all
Oh,
crap
yeah.
music. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, he just had a
Yeah,
lot
that
of
wasn't
turds.
good.
So yeah, it does, like I told Andrew, if I was rating it like unbiasedly, it's like a 6.5 or a 7 out of 10 as an album. For a Peter Criss album, it's an 8 or a 9 out of 10 because
Sure.
his other ones are so bad. This one makes it look pretty damn good. But musically, I'm saying, playing wise, it's night and day. The musicianship on some of the
Sure.
guitar solos and the bass playing and drums on this is pretty ridiculous for his type of music.
Mhm.
So, agreed. But I think how he also did it right is that just the way he just dropped the one song, which is actually probably one of the weaker songs from the album, but it has the Halloween theme. So I think that's why he threw that out there, and then
Right.
kind of just dropped it on you at one thing.
Right.
Obviously, he's getting the hate because people like Michael Brandvold are saying he was legitimately trying to sell it for $1,000 for download.
Right.
But as we saw from the statement by Peter Criss, he said, "I didn't do that." Right, the
No.
record company guy or someone wanted you to buy the
Sure.
records and the CDs. So, which is what I said all along. It was a marketing tech thing. Someone had to put a
And
price
it
in there.
If it would have just went over to iTunes, they would have seen the $9.99.
Exactly.
Right.
I posted that on multiple comments because guys were just not getting it, and I was like, "You're a liar. It's right here for less. It's right there for less. They were just not wanting you to buy it on Bandcamp in that format."
Or just stream it in general, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you can find it on Amazon Music and stream it, or Spotify and stream it. Yeah.
Yeah, I still have to check out Peter's new album. As far as Dark Angel goes, all I'll say is shout out to the dude from Nicaragua or wherever who ripped it onto YouTube. I made it a song and a half in, and I had to shut it off. That was just,
Yeah.
I mean, and this is a band that, I mean, come on, man.
Oh, yeah.
Darkness Descends. It's one of the
Yeah.
greatest extreme metal albums ever. And I hear this, I'm like, we waited 35 years for this.
Yeah.
No, sorry, man.
That was sad. And again, it's sad because they're such nice dudes. And
Yeah.
Gene, I got a chance to meet up with him in Portland, and it's just kind of like, oh man.
He's a top 5 drummer of mine, man.
Yeah, no
My
shit.
hero.
So, anyways,
It happens.
it happens. So there you go. So I don't know if anybody else has. Hey, Alan, do you have any? Wait a minute. So I'm trying to think here. We had Ozzy pass. We had Ace pass. Do you have any stories of either of those two guys? Because I'm sure you probably run into them at some point or had some kind of interaction with them.
Well, my favorite Aussie story is in the book.
That's true. That's in the book.
You read it?
Do you have another
We'll
one?
save
Do you
it
have a
then,
top the number 2 story? Because we don't want to give that one away.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Of course we don't.
He has to think about it.
For those who don't know the story, let me give you a bit of setup. One thing I will not do, if at all possible, is listen to somebody's new music in their presence. I find that intimidating, awkward, because if I'm not going to be blown away, I can't hide it, and I'm going to feel bad about. So I'm sitting in an aircraft waiting to fly from Los Angeles out to New York, and there are some late arrivals coming in, and a little bit of context, I fucking hate flying with a passion. I do not like getting to those machines. There was a point in time where I actually took flying lessons because I thought it was a control issue. And if I could control a plane, I'd be fine. No, I'm flying around the mountains out here at about 8,000 feet, and I'm looking out the window and going, that is too fucking far off the ground for my ass to be. I want my feet on the fucking ground. So anyways, sitting in first class, and I got my head down, and I could go to sleep. I could have a full night's sleep, put me on a plane, I'll go to sleep straight away. That's my way of checking out and pretending I'm not there. So I've got my head down, and the seat next to me is empty. I'm really happy. I'm about to go to sleep. There's no one sitting next to me to bother me. And suddenly, kerplunk. Somebody sits in the seat next to me, and I go, fuck. And I look up, and this voice says, here, hello, Alec. How you doing? It's Ozzy. And Sharon has to go back a couple of seats and sit behind us. So for whatever reason, Ozzy decided he was going to sit next to me rather than Sharon. I go, hi, Oz, how you doing? Well, we're going out to New York to see a record company, and we're taking out my new record for the execs out there. I said, oh, want to hear it? And I just go, oh, fuck, no, don't do this to me. And before I could think of any way to rip out of it, he's bending over into his case, and he pulls out a DAT recorder and a pair of headphones. He sticks the headphones on my head and puts the tape in the DAT. And before he hits play, he pulls one of my headphones back, and he says, mine's a large vodka. Put it in front of the tray in front of you so Sharon can't see it. Right. And make sure it's the only one there so that Sharon thinks you're drinking it. People think that Ozzy's not that quick or bright. He walked onto the plane, saw me, saw the empty chair, and went, I know how I'm going to get shit-faced.
Right.
So I'm listening to the record, and every now and then drink comes, sits in front of me. He's tipping it back when he can. Every now and then he'd pull the headphones back and go, get me another. You know? So that's how we fly to New York. And by the time we get to New York, he's wasted. And Sharon, you can see that she's sensing this, and steam is starting to come out. And Ozzy gets out of the seat and tries to get off the plane as fast as possible before Sharon can get into his face. And off they go. And I'm sitting there going, you cunning bastard. That was very clever. And Jack was sitting 2 seats over, and he gets up and he's unsteady on his feet. And I'm going, what have you done, you fucker? Jack, are you fucking high? And I get that goofy Jack grin, and he goes, yeah, man. I said, how the fuck have you got drugs here? He goes, Ozzy shared.
Oh.
So while I had the headphones on, Ozzy was sneaking downers across the aisle. That's Ozzy and Jack.
Gee. Nice.
Oh, and let me tell you, I could hear Sharon from about 20, 30 feet away while we were looking for our suitcases and cases. She was not happy.
Sure. Nice. Wow. Well, there you go. That great way to kind of wrap up this wrap up, huh? I don't know if you guys have anything else you want to chat about. I know we'll give Joe a chance to plug the website and where they can find his top. What is it? Is it a top 20 list of 2025?
Top 40.
Top 4. Oh. Shit. Okay, well, let's see. Where can we find that top 40?
You can find that top 40.
Joe, 1 second.
Yes.
My old brain not functioning. By the way, what I had to listen to was an album called No More Tears.
Oh, that's what it was.
Wow.
Yes. And I could take the headphones off and go, that's really good. By the way, this thing called Zombie Stomp.
Yeah.
I fucking love Zombie Stomp.
Yeah.
Love that song too.
Yeah. That was co-written with Lemmy, I think, right? I think it's one of them. So.
Sorry, Joe, go ahead.
Oh, it's all good, brother. DefendersOfTheFaithMetal.com is where you can find the top 40 reviews, interviews,
Yeah.
etc. We're off right now, obviously, for the holidays, but we will be back in 2026 in a couple weeks.
Defenders of the Faith.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Have priests contacted you about that?
So funny enough,
there you go. Go for it. This is a good story.
yes. And they love it. I thought when I started this 5 years ago, because that's my favorite Priest record, I'm like, I don't know, it's a little ballsy move or whatever. And then, long story short, yeah, the Priest and Defenders of the Faith webzine bromance has been going strong for
Well
about
done.
3-4 years.
Well done. I will never forget. I had returned to England to beg Bill Curbishley to get the opening slot on the tour in 1984. And we actually got it, which was surprising because there wasn't much else to be a support on that year. And we went straight from the end of the tour we were on, which was with Whitesnake in the United Kingdom, to Boston, where the first show was going to be. And I thought it might be appropriate to go over to, they were doing some pre-production rehearsal, over to the venue and see Bill and see how he was doing and say thank you. And Bill looked fucking ravaged. Getting the tour up and starting it, really taking it out of him. So I sit next to Bill, and I'd never seen Priest. And I'd listened to, knew the records, listened to the records, and I went, there's no way Halford's going to be that good live. We've got nothing to be scared of. Halford came out, and my jaw just fell between my kneecaps. I was looking at him and going, fuck. Is that him? And you could tell it was him because the stuff halfway through a song he'd say something and then he'd start singing in a different part of the song. And I was just going, oh my God, this guy is absolutely extraordinary. I mean, that's one of the great rock and roll voices of all time.
He's my number one.
Yeah, he'd laughingly say that the only reason he was a singer and a frontman was so he could wear his gay leather gear
Right.
all the time.
Yeah.
Oh, well, a little bit into the tour. I had no idea of his proclivities, but we were a little bit into the tour, and I was sitting in the hotel bar having a drink with the original bass player in Great White, Lauren Black, and Halford came in and we just went, our heads just swiveled. What the fuck? He was holding a dog leash tied to his chest, and it went over his shoulder and went directly to a collar around this big buff boy toy who was naked from the waist up.
Oh,
this is in the bar.
In the bar?
In the bar, naked from the waist up, and with a sheen of oil on him. And Laura and I were just sitting there going, holy crap, look at this, and so public. And Lauren goes, I didn't know he was gay. And I said, Lauren, how do you think we got the tour? I told Curbishley your ass would be for the next 6 months. Lauren was off his stool and out the door like a whirlwind. But that was a surprise.
Nice.
Wow.
That is telling of kind of the times, because now somebody would have captured that on his cell phone and it'd be on TMZ. I mean, geez.
Everywhere.
Well,
Well, guys,
18 years ago, they would have captured it on their cell phone and it would have been on TMZ. That's just another Tuesday these fucking days.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah. Well,
guys,
go ahead.
I would say thank you for your hospitality.
Yeah, it's always
It's been a pleasure chatting
it's
with you.
it's
I
all
hope
it's
you had a
always
great holiday.
this makes me feel like I'm cultured anytime I have a conversation with Alan. I think I I'm at least I'm a poser. I try to look cultured, but I think just knowing somebody that's as cultured as him and has that accent that makes him sound like, like he's someone with power, right? And more intelligent than I, absolutely. But Sound and Fury. Now that is supposed to hit the streets on March 31st of 2026. It's still pre-ordered. The Amazon's been good about keeping me posted on the delays, but no delays as of yet. Now, they gave me the last update of the release date, and they were pretty firm on March 31st. So hopefully, I get it going into March 31st of next year, and I get to actually hold the damn thing and rifle through the pages.
Hold on.
And we should, real quick, while he's doing that, go on the record and say Axel won't let you have this, but he gave you Atlas.
Yeah, right.
What the hell is going? This is what's wrong with the world in 2025.
Oh, look at that. He's got the. Yeah.
It is real. It
That's
does
what we want.
exist.
It does exist.
Yes.
There it is.
And there are approximately 10,000 of them sitting in a fucking warehouse right now.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, I imagine.
Waiting for the go. But I think we have a court. We're going to have an appearance before a judge before that. But between you and I, according to a little bit of scuttlebutt I was given at breakfast today, I think you might be able to find it on Kindle.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Wow.
It was out on Kindle, and somebody's saying, there's a load of people on Reddit saying they've already got it, and I'm going, how? I can't even get any more copies.
Right.
Simon and Schuster have got a lockdown on it. But if you check it out, it may still be available on Kindle. Otherwise, we should have a good time with the judge who's going to tell Axel to sit down and not be so obnoxious. And hopefully it will be out in March.
And hopefully someone's made him listen to Atlas, so that way when he goes in there, he realizes what kind of horse shit they're releasing and sides on Alan's side, because that's a horrible track. I'm sorry.
Wasn't that something left over from Chinese Democracy?
Yeah, you got.
I guess all of these songs have been from Chinese Democracy, and I can see why they were not on that album. And although I'm not going to be a complete hater. I've listened to Chinese Democracy. I owned it when it came out. I picked it up, but it's not GNR. It's an Axl solo album, and all this stuff coming out. Even if you put Slash soloing over Axl solo album music, still sounds like Axl solo album music to my ears. So
Yeah.
Oh, you got the.
You are not wrong.
thank you.
Yeah, I got the Illusions box set.
Oh, good God.
I can't even give it away. I listened to it once and it was I bought it as a goof because I'm like, well, yeah, there's a lot of live content in here and a Blu-ray. And I'm not, the packaging is awesome. It's got a 3D cover. It's got this booklet that has like 3D imagery and stuff like that. And the shows are all right. But it doesn't make the Illusions 1 and 2 any better, unfortunately. And I got evacuated this summer, from a wildfire, and I'm putting, everything's still in the process of getting put back together. But I'm sorting through some of the shit that I need to unload. I can't unload this thing. Nobody wants it. I might have to give it away.
Do you know anybody who spent $1,000 on the infamous box set?
Oh, yes. And I know him, but it's only because he wrote it off as a business expense because he was part of the Guns N' Roses tribute band, Appetite for Deception. He's in Salem, Oregon. He's Mark Thomas is his name, and did a pretty damn good job, doing the Axl stuff. They inserted a lot of Illusion stuff, and he asked me what I thought. I go, yeah, I mean, you performed it pretty well. I'm just not a fan of any of the shit on those records. But yeah, he wrote it off as a business expense. but he does own it.
Wow. I don't know who was thinking what doing that. $1,000 for a box set? Oh my God.
Yeah, but anyways. Well, let's end on a high note. What any parting words, Kendall? You've been kind of quiet. We'll let you have the final words and we'll call it. And thanks so much, everybody. Thanks, Joe. Thanks to Kendall. And absolutely thanks so much again, Alan, for coming through with always an excellent appearance and a lot of insight. And like I said, you make us seem somewhat cultured, just being in your presence. So
Well,
all right.
obviously, between you and I would probably assign 75% of what I could get involved with and get done back in the day, because I speak the way I do. What I found was when I went into a room full of American executives, they immediately thought I knew what I was doing, whether I had no idea at all, because it sounded believable.
Right. There you go. Well, we buy it.
Good.
All right, Kendall, what do you have?
Well, 2025 has been a year for me to get back on things such as this, internet radio. So I appreciate it, to the CMS Wrap Up Show. So thank you. Thank you, Alan, for being on here. And it was a good insight on Dawkins and all the other things we talked about in music. And just Happy New Year, everyone.
All right.
You're right. You're right to be fond of Don. He's one of my favorite people.
People know I'm very fond.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks everybody. We'll be in touch. We'll be in touch, Joe. We'll be in touch, Kendall. We'll be in touch, Alan. We'll
Let me know when it's up.
yeah, we'll do something right before March. That way we can discuss some of the content in there. I know we scrapped one of the KNAC things because the editor was like, well, let's wait until, and so I still have that interview in there. And I think in there is where you mentioned the DeMartini thing that you were just talking about earlier. So there's lots of great stuff. And I'm like, why are we scrapping it? He goes, well, we're not scrapping it. We're just putting it on hold. And it's like, all right, we'll put it on hold. So, but we'll dust things off again, get you back on here, probably pull you in for a supplemental portion for the KNAC thing and go from there.
The book
About the book.
Axel doesn't want you to read.
Right. All right, you guys.
All right, guys.
Thanks so much.
Sure.
Have a good rest of the
guys.
weekend.
Good to
And
see you
Happy
again.
New Year.
New Year.
Happy New Year.
all right.
To you too. Good to see you again, Evil.
Yeah.
Yep. Rock on, y'all.
You guys.
Bye bye.
Raise your horn.